High Talk with Webb is back. What's going on? This is Bama, Georgia. Getting ready for the game. Like I said, I'm excited because we got some injury guys coming back. We got Tim Kenyon will play, so I think that's pretty big. Jan Miller will play. That'll be nice to have another senior back who's been in those big games. So that's a big plus, I think, for the Bama fan base and for us in the game. Jamarian Latham won't play. Like I said, he's out, which is fine. We'll figure it out. Okay, I'm just going to get right into it. I'm not going to mix words. Reasons of concern. Georgia just came off a big game. They were going into halftime against Tennessee, 21-7. They came back and beat them, and in overtime. Yes, they gave up a lot of points. They gave up 40 points, and they scored 44, so they won. So everything is forgiven. But that does bode well for Alabama. Like I said, we can't run. I mean, we got 63 yards against Wisconsin, which is kind of like SEC's version of Missouri. That's very concerning. Through 3 games, Keelan Riley, he's only got 120 yards through 3 games. That's super, super, super concerning. We can't run the ball. That's also concerning because Georgia's going to pin their ears back and say, well, we're going to flood the backfield with defensive backs. And the problem is when we played FSU, they were getting pressure with just 4 down linemen, sometimes 3. That's a big area of concern. I think the game for Alabama, if we want to win it, is going to absolutely come down to the D line and the O line. The O line, you got to be able to block. I mean, it's great you can pass block, but can you run block? Can you run block when you need to run clock? If you got ahead and you're in the fourth quarter, wearing those teams down, there's a huge thing about being consistent and being able to do both. You've got to be able to be able to run the ball, and you got to be able to pass the ball. The good thing is we know that Ty Simpson, he's played against FSU. He never gave up. He didn't throw an INT. He didn't give the game up. It wasn't on him. You couldn't do it. Well, that was the one thing. That wasn't the thing. Now, we do have good receivers, and we do have a good quarterback who's not going to give up. But the problem that I see is, can we give him time? Can we give him, like against Wisconsin, 3+, 3.6, 3.8 seconds to throw? That's a huge thing. And if we don't have the run, that's where, Ryan Grubbs is going to have to figure it out. And, yeah, we're going to have to pass every single down. Now, if we can get success early on passing, that'll loosen the defense up so we can get a few yards in the run game. Or, it's got to be a deal where Ty Simpson sees, okay, well, they're in man coverage and, or they're in zone coverage and they got a bunch of defensive backs out there. They've only got 3 down linemen or 4 down linemen. We've got 5 down linemen, maybe 6 down linemen, whatever. There's got to be mismatches. He's going to have to figure that out. Like, oh, they got 4 down linemen. We've got 5. We've got an extra body. We need to open up a hole for Jan Miller or whoever's got the ball, Richard Young, whoever it may be. That's, to me, is one of the biggest things that we have to consider for like Kevin Riley and Jan Miller and Richard Young. We've got to figure that out. I think Ty Simpson is a very, very smart guy. I think he can do that. I don't know if he's been given the reins to do that. This is one of those type games, if you feel comfortable with him as a quarterback, you're going to have to do that because we've proven we're not going to get yards on the ground against a team like Georgia. I mean, I hate to say it. In my opinion, I think they're the best team in the country. I don't give a shit about Penn State or Ohio State. I think Georgia's the best team in the country. If you want a chance to win this game, and we hear all the people saying, well, in the last 10 years, Georgia's 1 for 9 against Bama. Well, that doesn't mean anything. Nick Saban's not here. We cannot run the ball. We do not have an experienced quarterback. All these are not in our favor. So if we want to even that out, we're going to have a very good game plan. We're going to have the number one game plan and the plan B, which is you're going to have to allow, Ty Simpson to do like a Mac Jones and just call an audible, or, a McCarron and call audibles all the time because it's going to be tough. They got a good defense. They've got a great offense. They can run the ball. They can pass the ball. They can do all the things. And so we have to leave them off balance. And it can't just be like, oh, we played 3 great quarters, it's over. No, you have to play all 60 minutes, and you have to play every single quarter, every single snap. They're not going to give up. Now, it is encouraging that what we saw, how many points they gave up against Tennessee. That is encouraging. That makes me feel good. But the bottom line is Tennessee's got a hell of a running game. They're way better than us at running the ball. So that's some points we need to look at going forward in this big matchup. I think Alabama loses. I'm going to be honest. Barring a miracle, I'm not going to lie to you, Bama fans. I'm not going to lie to myself. We'll probably lose this game. I'm thinking a lot of people think it's going to be high scoring. I don't know. I mean, I could see a 34-24 game, Georgia. I'm just going to be honest with you. Very scared, very nervous about it, but I'm going to watch the game either way. We're going to roll with the tide, win, lose, or draw. Some other really cool news I saw this week was that all this game schedules, that we're going to a 9-game SEC schedule, and they've been put out in your actual annual opponents for each team has been outlaid or given to every single team. I thought Bama did fairly well. Every year we're going to play Felburn, we're going to play Tennessee, and we're going to play Mississippi State. So that's not bad. Now, strength of schedule, if that really goes into effect like they're saying for the playoffs, playing Mississippi State is not really helping us. But the way I see it, I don't think going and playing at LSU as well as playing at Tennessee is going to be any good, because if you lose one of those games, and that's the difference between going to the playoff and not going to the playoff, that could mean a big difference for us. So I'm happy. I think we did good. Some teams like Arkansas got shafted bad. But I guess when they rework it in 4 years, somebody else is going to get shafted. That's just the way it goes. Just like you see Florida playing an egregious schedule where Texas, pretty easy, not bad.